Hello. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's having a great evening. I probably have some pizza crumbs and grease on my face. So, yes, I'm eating a pizza for dinner. And this is when going, what's the key? What's the word? When getting real gets real. Okay. So, what am I talking about today? Okay. So, I'm talking about getting my shit together. Okay. Now, let me introduce you to me. All right, I'm going to introduce you to myself. So my name is Emily Medaglia. I have an Instagram account that's all dedicated to health and branding and products, and it's amazing. I'm currently building my community just like everybody else is. Awesome. So for the last 5 years, I have gone on this like health journey, and it all started with the Whole30 program. Super awesome program. It teaches you a lot about discipline, about rituals, about what your good habits and bad habits are. I apologize for the planes and the helicopters in the background. We have an airport that's near us, and so they come in and out every few minutes. But so I came on here today to keep it real. And this is what I meant to say in the beginning. When keeping it real gets real, okay? So what do I mean by when keeping it real, right? Everybody talks about being authentic and real and et cetera, et cetera. So I am a mom. I have a husband. We have a 1-year-old baby. He's about 14 months. He is absolutely beautiful, and we work really hard, like every other parent does, to take care of him and provide for him. So we both work. I'm on a part-time schedule. My husband's on a full-time schedule. And it gets a little crazy sometimes. And, you know, I've learned to really give myself grace in this time that we have where we are working, we're building, right? So building means that we're working really hard to get to where we want to go. And everything's been great. Everything's been beautiful. We're having such a great time with him. He's such a beautiful child. And my husband and I are having a good time together. We're getting to learn more about ourselves as parents, as people. Everything's been great. But something that hasn't been so great is our eating. I mean, it tastes great. Don't get me wrong. I love pizza. I love pizza. But pizza makes you fat. And more than just making you fat, it's really bad for you. Pizza is actually one of the worst foods because of the tomato sauce, cheese, the bread, the way that it cooks together creates trans fats. And there's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of bread in there. It's really bad. And so you want to have pizza, not as a treat like TGIF, it's Friday, but, oh, it's my so-and-so's birthday. I'm going to go over, they're going to order pizza, and we're going to have a pizza. It's not supposed to be an everyday thing or an every week thing. And so it started to creep up on us, and trust me, it's not just pizza. It started to creep up on us because we have been slowly increasing our outings and our takeout food over the last 2 months. So we started doing really well. I gave birth in May of 2017. And so obviously it took off 4 months from really eating, so to say, clean. So I was eating oatmeal and things like that because I was breastfeeding. So things that I wouldn't normally eat. I'm sorry if I look like a sweaty hot mess. I would say it's a really nice evening, but we live in Miami and it is hot as hell. But this is the best place to videotape, or to go live. And so I did my first Whole30 round again in January or February-ish. And then I took a month off. I was still eating clean. And then I did a Facebook group where I led 10 women through the Whole30. I coached them, talked to them. We had a really beautiful community. And that was in March or April. And so ever since May, slowly but surely, we've been getting back into those bad habits of eating out, not cooking as much. It's hard. It is very difficult. And so things were fine. I'm going to open up my LaCroix. At least that's good. I don't drink any soda, so LaCroix helps, guys, if you want to kick your soda habit. Okay, so this is what happened. So I started working part-time, and my husband works full-time, and I was working on my husband's schedule, which means that I have to work when he's not working, which is at night and on the weekends. So, and not that he doesn't cook. My husband loves to cook, but I cook most of the time because one, I'm home, and two, I absolutely love cooking, and I'm very familiar with the kitchen and with the ingredients that we put together and the things that we really like to eat. I love cooking. That is like my number one thing. So slowly but surely, as I've started working, we haven't really realized this, or maybe we've been in denial about it, but we started going out to eat. And of course, it started healthy, right? We would go to good places. We would get rotisserie chicken instead of cooking. We would get things like grilled chicken from Pollo Tropical, Pollo Tropical, just get healthier options because we weren't cooking. But then slowly but surely, on the days off that we've had, because I've been working, the days that he's not working, or at night, some days I work every day. Some weeks I work only 1 or 2 times a week. So if I'm working every day, it's not as likely that he's going to cook. And he would sooner get takeout. And I would sooner get takeout. And when I come home at 9 o'clock, I'm not going to cook. He hasn't cooked. He's been home with the baby. So little by little, this stuff has been creeping up. So long story short, over the last week or two, we've been talking about changing our habit, because we're starting to notice that not only are we not working out because we have no time, but now we're eating out. And because I'm working, we have that a little bit of extra push in our finances. And so now when we eat out, let's say 3 or 4 times a week, which is a lot, it doesn't hurt us as much. Oh, that's exhausting, right? And so then you start sleeping bad and your sex drive goes down. You're not feeling yourself. You can't focus because you're having sugar crashes. And it's just like, it's a vicious cycle, right? And you start going to bed late because we eat late and So I'm making this video. I love doing my weekly lives, and they've been about nutrition and different brands and things like that. Today, it's about me keeping it real. I'm holding myself accountable because I know me making this video means that I am getting really, really serious about this. And I've given myself grace, like I said earlier, because I've been able to really sit down and realize that, you go through stages in your life and you may not feel great, but it's going to be okay. The great thing about eating healthy and working out is that you can always lose the weight and you can always eat healthier. That is in your control. So the more you see that about yourself, the less harsh you're going to be. And most of the time, people hate themselves when they get chunky, when they get fat, when they gain weight, when they're not eating well. They start hating on themselves. But guys, you can't. That's not okay. Okay, you're going to self-destruct. So take the time that you need to be in hibernation mode, okay, to enjoy the foods, enjoy the time. Maybe you're going through a time where there's a lot of parties, a lot of weddings, maybe a lot of people having babies. Maybe you just had a baby or you're about to have a baby. Give yourself grace. Allow the season to come to an end. Don't wait until 2020 for it to come to an end. Give yourself some time. Look at your calendar and say, okay, in September, things are going to slow down. So I'm going to start up again. So now I'm going to give you some of my tips. So I wrote some notes down. I have my flash looking at me. So let me just look at this really quick. I know it's really dark. So here are some of my things that I'm going to do. So what I was talking about with the Whole30. So the Whole30 is an elimination program for 30 days where you give up basically all of the inflammatory foods. A lot of people lose weight. A lot of people really feel amazing. It's really great. If you're interested in the Whole30, please go check it out, thewhole30.com. I am not sponsoring this. I'm not sponsored to do this video by them or by any brand that I talk about today. But go look at it if you're interested. It changed my life 5 years ago. So what does this mean? So with time, I was able to learn my discipline, what I really liked, what I didn't like, what I'm comfortable and uncomfortable with. And because I've done so many Whole30s, I know what triggers me, what doesn't trigger me, what fits well with my lifestyle and my body and my family's lifestyle and bodies. So I'm going to sit down for the next 2 days. I'm starting all of this on Monday. So, and I've been kind of starting little by little. So now I'm doing the full head on, which is why I feel comfortable. So what I would say is for 1 to 2 weeks, start becoming mindful of what you want to change. Let's say you want to be eating healthier or you want to start working out. Don't start the next day unless you're really, truly, truly motivated. Start little things every day. Say no to the piece of cake at work. Go for a walk before work or after work. Do things that are little so that when you start taking those baby steps, the day that you say, I'm going to start today or tomorrow or next week, you're going to be ready and you're going to have prepared for success. If you don't prepare, you're going to fail. Don't just start a Whole30. Look at the rules, look at the regulations, see what you can and can't eat. Go to the store, look at brands, look at things that you like, go purchase them, come home, throw out all your stuff, and then start. Don't just jump in unless you're truly ready and motivated for a change in your life. So for the next 2 days, I'm taking baby steps. For the next 2 days, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a 30-day plan for me and my family. So one of our goals is to eat more plant-based foods. We don't want to eat so much meat. I did a plant-based kind of challenge for myself for 7 days. I had eaten meat consecutively, and I don't like eating that much red meat, and so I didn't eat meat for 7 days. It was great. So what I want to do is not a Whole30, but similar to the Whole30 style where you don't have any processed foods, you don't have any sugars, no alcohol, no kind of like dairy, things like that, and I'm going to stick to that. So it's going to be very plant-based. There's going to be meat thrown in there. And so for the next 2 days, so tomorrow and Sunday, and then probably tonight, I'm going to start looking at meals and recipes and things that I want to cook that sound good and that taste great. And every week I'm going to review that calendar. And if I see, I don't feel like eating this week, then we'll put in something else. But this is all about preparing for success. So then the other thing that I'm also going to do is we're not going to do any takeout. So my husband has, he has his own brain, his own life, his own body, right? So I'm going to propose this to him, and depending on his answer, he's an adult. So if he chooses to have takeout, that's perfectly fine. Ladies and gents, don't feel like you can't do something because your partner isn't willing to do it. It's hard. I promise you, it's not that it's hard, but it's difficult to stick to something when the person you live with and share life with doesn't want to do those things. But baby steps. And if they see you eating healthier and really truly changing, and you're changing your lifestyle and your mindset, they're slowly going to come around to some extent, even if it's not maybe following what you eat, but respecting you and not saying anything about what you're eating and really truly supporting you. So if my husband decides to do takeout, perfectly fine. That's fine with me. But I'm going to have my meals and I'm going to do my thing. So I'm not going to have any takeout unless we have a date planned, or we are going on our anniversary trip next week. So if that happens, or when that happens, we'll eat out, but I'll eat nice food. I'm not going to have, stuff that's fried or stuff that has a lot of sugar. I'll enjoy, maybe some sweets, but very limited. Have a couple drinks, have a couple glasses of wine, but nothing crazy. Things that make my body and me feel good at the time. So what's next? So no takeout. So we're going to be cooking, and that means that we have to prep. So that comes with the 30-day calendar and the 30-day meal guide that I'm going to create. And the next thing is me working out. So I look fine, and I know that I look fine, but I don't feel myself. So I love working out. I haven't gone into really working out. I've done yoga here and there. I've done HIIT workouts. I started doing T25, Shaun T's T25 on Beachbody. I loved it, but since my core isn't restored yet, I still have diastasis recti. It's hard for me to work out. It hurts. It takes a lot of effort, and my back really hurts. And so that's because when you're pregnant, and your stomach expands, your abs separate. And so when you give birth, your abs come back, but not really. They're loose and they're still separated. And so then you have this space in between your abs where you can put your fingers through it, and it creates a pouch, right? A little pooch that sticks out. And your back hurts because your everything else, your shoulders, your obliques, and your back muscles are taking over for your core, which is what's supposed to do everything. It carries stuff, it holds things. When you squat, your core is engaged. So bending over, anything like that after a while, it's going to make your back hurt. So if you've gained a lot of weight rapidly, your abs will do that. If you had a surgery, if I had a C-section, so that that still happens, especially giving birth naturally, or vaginally. And yeah, so I bought a diastasis recti workout program that's going to restore my core. I've started the breathing exercises, and if you guys are interested in that program, I will link it to the video. It's a really great program. It was $30, and it's for 12 weeks. So I started the working out part of it, like the core restoration part. So what I'm going to do is, starting Monday, I'm going to start my HIIT workouts that she recommends. She also recommends 30 minutes of like a light cardio, so walking, elliptical, treadmill, things like that, and her breathing and her core exercises. So hopefully in 12 weeks, I'll be feeling a lot better, and then I can do my hardcore working out and weightlifting programs again. And I can start that because I haven't really worked out since I got pregnant, which was 2 years, like 2.5 years ago. It's been a long time, or 2 years ago. So, okay, so I'm going to do that. And then, I'm sorry for the darkness. Like I said, the whole 30-ish program that I'm going to create is going to be pretty much plant-based. I will share all of that information. Please follow me on Instagram at Emily Medaglia. It's EMILY, MED as in dog, AGLIA. Emily Medaglia. And I will share everything on there. And I will be doing my live streams on Fridays or sometime during the week. I usually like to do it either Fridays or Saturdays. And that's what I'm going to be doing. But I'm really excited. I think if you create rituals for yourself, so look at your lifestyle. What are things that you can incorporate? Can you incorporate a walk in the morning or maybe in the afternoon or at night? Maybe go outside for a few minutes if you have a lunch break at work. Incorporate, if you're home with your children, incorporate working out with them. I do walk in the mornings with the baby and the dog. And what else do I do? And we walk in the afternoon. I'm always with him, chasing him around. So incorporate. Create routines, practice discipline. Discipline is once you create your rituals and what you want to do every day, practice it, even if you don't want to. I know there's going to be days where you fall off, but get back on the next day. It's not that serious. Okay, we hold ourselves very accountable, and sometimes we're too regimented with ourselves. And guess what's going to happen? If let's say you're a manager at work, and you're forcing your employees to do something, and they mess up one time, and you come down on them, and you yell at them, or you talk down to them, or you do a bad shout out, a negative shout out in an email, they're going to stop doing, they're not going to want to even listen to you. So the same thing happens with us when we manage ourselves and we micromanage ourselves. Like, Emily, why didn't you wake up at 6 a.m. today? When the baby was up last night, I'm going to feel almost rebellious. I'm not going to want to do those things. So give yourself grace. Something that helps me is journaling every night. And I talk about my day. And I really reflect back on the things that I did instead of the things that I didn't do. So focus on those things. Be positive with yourself. And when you start seeing that you're practicing that discipline every day, you're going to feel so much better. And listen to a lot of positive things. Podcasts, videos on YouTube. Follow positive people on Instagram, positive accounts. Don't follow accounts that are going to trigger you. Okay, something that triggers me is ice cream. I know that if I eat ice cream, I'm going to want more sugar the next day and the next day and the next day. So limit your sugar, lower it. And since I know it's a trigger for me, I won't follow any Instagram accounts that have a lot of like sugary pictures or like ice cream restaurants. Like, I delete them. And if I really like them, I'll follow them later on. So avoid your triggers. Tell people what you're doing. Get excited about it. Don't say, oh, I have to do this thing because I'm fat or I'm overweight or I really need to do, I need to change my lifestyle. But hey, I'm doing this new thing. If you want to join me, feel free. Or this is where I got my resources. Or this is an awesome program that's going to help me feel better. Okay, don't make it about losing weight. Make it about your growth as a person. So cool, right? So this is what it is, guys. When keeping it real gets real. And I'm going to finish my pizza. I'm probably not going to have wine tonight. Maybe I will. But I'm going to enjoy the hell out of my next 2 days. And then on Monday, I'm starting. No BS. Thank you for watching. Love to all. I hope you guys have a great night. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Peace. See you guys later.